Hi, this is Magenta Pixie speaking. I have received a question from someone. I am really scared, actually terrified of public speaking, but I know I need to do this. I have a message to deliver. There are things I want to say. How can I get over this fear of public speaking? Also, why am I afraid of doing this? Yet I feel as though it's my destiny to do it. So, yeah, this is quite a common one actually, and I find that this is very common within individuals who embody the crystal frequency. If you've watched my videos on YouTube, you will have seen that the Nine have spoken a great deal about crystal energy within individuals, the indigo energy, the rainbow energy, blue ray energy. These are sort of codes presented through a ray, through a colour, that individuals are born with or that individuals come into when they come into their potential. So an individual who's born with a crystal frequency, they're very lovely, lovely individuals, but they're healers ultimately, and they heal in many different ways. But they are more silent in the way that they express themselves, whereas indigos are speakers. They, can talk for England, like me, but crystals don't have that natural urge to speak, and they also are individuals who perhaps if they feel that several people are listening to them or watching them, it puts them into a fear-based way of thinking. The throat chakra within the crystal individual, I find, is often set back somewhat because the speaking is not in balance with the rest of the chakra system. Indigos can have an energy that is too dynamic, too far forward, too intense and out of balance. Indigos have to learn to rein the speaking in. They have to learn when to speak, when not to speak, how to listen, how not to interrupt. That's been my lesson. A crystal has to learn how to bring forward that ability to speak and to stand in balance with it. So this person who's asked the question probably speaks for most crystal individuals out there. And when this person is saying, I know I need to do this, I feel as though it's my destiny, that's because, yes, not only is it your destiny to speak and share the message, as there are so many individuals out there now who have something to say, they have a message to deliver, they are bringing forward information and memory that they have achieved, acquired, or that they have always held due to the DNA activations that are going on in everyone on the planet. So, sites like YouTube and similar will be overrun with these messages and these individuals who want to speak. And that's fantastic because information is being shared, and it's really contributing to this exponential rate of growth when it comes to the raising of the consciousness, this collective ascension. So it is within your destiny as a crystal to speak, but what is also within your blueprint, if you like, is to overcome the trepidation, the fear of speaking. So how does one do this? So what I would say is there are several ways. You can enlist the help of a healer. So go and see someone who deals with individuals who hold fears within. So find somebody who is a spiritually understanding therapist who deals with fears and worries and phobias and that sort of thing. I would lean more towards the alternative, holistic, spiritual healers, but there are some good orthodox healers out there as well, using counselling techniques, and there are other things that can be done as well. There can be herbs and oils, massage. Things can help on a physical level. But one technique that I would use is work out to yourself how you want to deliver your message. Do you want to do this online? Because this is a massive platform for speaking. Do you want to, create videos online, on your website, on YouTube, or some other platform, such as online radio, streaming. There are so many different platforms and sites now. So if you do, what I would do is get yourself into a practice mode. So it's really just a rehearsal, if you like. Open up some sound recording software in your computer. You can download a little free software called Audacity, or you can use Sound Recorder. Switch it on and imagine that you are talking to thousands and thousands and thousands of people. If not, imagine that you are talking to millions. That will, get that rehearsal feeling going. Imagine that you are speaking to millions of people and really visualize those people listening to you. Visualize all these people all over the world, listening to their computer and their phones, listening to what you have to say, so that you get that practice and then start to speak. And if it comes out all wrong and you sound silly, that's okay, because no one's really going to listen to it. It's just a game. It's just a rehearsal. You can delete it and try again. Keep practicing with this, and I promise you, you will get to a point where you are saying something and you are dealing with the confidence. It's just about practice. But there is another way to do this. I have spoken to some people before with this exercise as a suggestion, imagining these millions of people, and they've sat there in front of their computer and just haven't been able to say a word, because just imagining several people listening to them is the whole reason why they're afraid of public speaking in the first place. So you can use this technique if you are online and sat in front of your computer, and so you kind of use the opposing technique. Just imagine that there's only one person listening to you, and imagine that person is someone you really know well, and this person is supporting you and encouraging you and wants to hear what you have to say. Or you could even just talk as if you're talking to yourself, in a way, and don't imagine that large audience. So either imagine that there's no one listening and you're just talking aloud, or imagine that you're speaking to one person. So bring it right down. So you take away this huge, large, scary audience of several thousand people and bring it down to just yourself talking, mulling things over out loud, or that you're talking to one person. And don't even think about taking that speech into the public domain at all. Just think about saying what you need to say, bringing the message forward. When you make the decision as to whether that message goes out into the public field, you make that decision after you've said your message. So that's in the editing stages. It's the same with writing. A lot of people can't write because they sit there and think to themselves, loads of people are going to be reading this and it's got to be of a certain standard, therefore it causes them pressure and they can't write a word. So I always say to anyone who wants to write or who is destined to write for yourself. Write for the connection of writing, the whole experience of writing. Don't think about the audience. It's just one technique. I know that there are other techniques to write where you do need to perhaps target an audience, but for the kind of speaking and writing I am talking about, where you are in alignment with a destiny and a knowing, where you really feel you are destined to bring a message forward, either from your own perspective of self or from a higher density collective, whether you feel you're being given messages to deliver, whatever it may be, on that level, it's a good idea to take away this large feeling of lots and lots of people are going to be listening to me speak, or lots and lots of people are going to be reading my work, and do this for the experience, for the mission, for this desire or drive that you have inside you, that is a knowing that that's what you're here for. And when you make a decision to release that written work into the public domain, or to release your recorded speech into the public domain, that comes with the editing process. That's when you make your decision. So that when you're actually recording your speech or writing your blog or book or whatever it may be, that's a creative process. You don't have to think about the audience or the people who are reading or listening. So these are two very different techniques. If you are okay with imagining that there's a large audience there, then that's a rehearsal. Just like if you were an actress and you were going to go on stage, it's very unlikely you would go and perform without having some rehearsals, unless it's a specific show or production that works that way. Most productions, whether they are filmed or whether they are on stage, they will have rehearsals. So the technique of imagining a large audience of many people is a rehearsal technique, so that you are getting the practice you need before you actually do the speech. The other technique, where you only imagine one person, or you imagine that you are just speaking out loud, is a technique that is assisting you with the creative process, assisting you to release the fears of speaking to a large audience. So if you can't do the rehearsal bit, then go back and start with this other method where you literally just speak or write. Don't even think about who's going to listen or read. That comes afterwards. Once you can do this, then start the rehearsal and imagine that you are speaking to several people. I must admit, I do a bit of both, really, when I'm speaking. I guess I'm aware that several people may listen to me speak, and I'm aware that I can feel those people before I put the recording out. So I'm aware that some people are thinking, I like what Magenta's saying, I agree with what Magenta's saying, or this is helpful. And I know that there'll be some people that are going to think, doesn't she waffle on? And I've even had people say that to me, messages, that was a load of waffle, I didn't understand any of it. So I know that there's going to be divided opinion, that's how it is. And I guess really half of me is aware that I may be speaking to many people, but in reality, when I'm recording this, I'm actually sat on my own. Like right now, there's no one in my room but me. So I can still take the perspective that I'm just me talking. If you can kind of get both of those, and I know it is easier for someone who has that indigo energy, and it's not so easy for a crystal. But if that knowing is there, that this is your destiny, then that's because there's a calling to this. Also, projecting yourself into, why are you afraid of this? What's the worst possible thing that could happen here in your mind? What is this, that you get loads of emails saying you were absolutely dreadful, I'm never going to listen to you again, you're awful? Okay, worst case scenario. Very unlikely that that is going to happen. Best case scenario, that everyone says you were amazing, everything you said was fantastic, I love the way you talk, I love the things you say. Unlikely that that's going to happen as well, being honest, that 100% of people who listen to you will say that. So we're looking at somewhere in the middle. So the most likely scenario is that you will get people who don't like what you say, and you will get people who do. So sit yourself somewhere there and visualize in your mind, find the knowing within that those who like you will be more than those who don't. That's another way of looking at things, and also finding a way to deal with the rejection or the disapproval of somebody. Because if one person saying to you, you were dreadful, you were awful, you sounded awful, I don't know what you're doing, putting yourself out there in the public eye and speaking to people, you were just terrible, I can't listen to you. If that really hurts you or affects you, bothers you, triggers you, then this is when you need to go and see a healer or work with your own issues as to why that is making you feel so bad. So that could be triggering other things from the past. So work on that level as well. Go and seek some help with healing to find out why that would upset you. If you're able to speak and feel that people will listen to you and think you're awful, and you're okay with it because they are free to have their own opinion, They are free to believe that you're terrible and awful and that everything you say is rubbish. It's okay. They're allowed to think that. So that's fairly an easy one to get over when you are dealing with online. If you want to go out actually and give talks, workshops, or some other public speaking face to face, then that's a different kind of energy. So what I would say there is do the same thing. Practice, stand in a room, pretend you've got 200 or 500 people watching you, and do some rehearsals with yourself. But really a good way to deal with this would be to go and get involved in your local drama group. Go take a drama class, get involved in acting in some way, or possibly poetry reading or play reading or something where you have to stand up and speak. And when you go through the drama route, that's a different energy, because you're not actually speaking as yourself. You're speaking as the improvisation that you're working with, or the character that you're working with. That's another really good way of getting over public speaking. There are courses out there to assist you with public speaking. Ultimately, though, destiny is what is calling you. If you know you need to do this, if you feel that this is your destiny, then it is. This is your alignment. This is your calling. So do whatever you can to find a way to deliver the message that you have inside. Try the techniques that I've suggested. There are so many healers out there. Find a healer that will be in alignment with what you want and what your goals are. And visualize yourself doing this, because I've been told from the 9 that there is yet another wave, a new wave of individuals coming forward to deliver their message. Around now through 2017, 2018, we're going to be seeing younger individuals, just left college, just left university, that are going to be bringing forward very wise messages and wise wisdom, great information. They are going to be out there and speaking their truth and spreading their message. So we're going to see yet more people come on the scene, younger individuals speaking. I mean, it's truly amazing. And you may well be one of these individuals that's going to do this. But when I say individuals are younger, there's absolutely nothing wrong with somebody who is older in their years, just discovering technology and software and the internet and being out there speaking as well. If you have something to say, you will feel it inside, and you are here to deliver that information. You are here to deliver that message. So hope that has helped with this. When it comes to the healers, there are many different models and templates and types of healing. So go with what resonates with you, what feels right to you to assist you with this. But honestly, just turning on your recording software and imagining that you're speaking to millions of people and, just listening to it yourself and practicing doing this every day is such a good technique. Or you could even go one step further and just create your website or your YouTube channel, create your recording and simply upload it and see what happens. There will always be somebody supporting you. Always. Always. You will never be in a situation where you can speak and not a single person will support what you are saying. I promise you. How do I know that? Because I support you. I haven't heard you yet, but if you are out there with something to say, then I support you, and that's one person, and I know that there are others. So if you can reach just one person with your message, help just one person with your message, inspire just one person with your message, is it not worth doing? Even if you are only helping one, you are still helping someone. And when you help someone, you are changing their life. You are making a difference to their life and their reality, and that is a knock-on effect, and they then make a difference to others. So, get out there, do it, deliver your message, say what you need to say. You will be supported. Okay, I hope that's made sense today, and I hope you all have a lovely day, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye. What is the Matrix? Who are the masters? I, Magenta Pixie, am so very pleased to present my first book, channeled from my guidance system that I refer to as the White-Winged Collective Consciousness of Nine. Discover the true story of our origins as an energy system, how we lost the original template for our destiny, and how we are now in the process of remembering those lost codes. Learn how humanity may reclaim the sovereignty which is rightfully ours, bringing us back into wholeness, integration, and full understanding of who we are, what we are, why we are here, and what we are here to do. Spirituality, metaphysics, and science merge as the sacred geometry, known as the language of light, is downloaded and decoded. The realization and activation of these ancient codes for a new dawn of man is an alchemical process available to us all. Now is the time that collectively we move forward into a fully conscious ascension and embrace the new archetype of Master of the Matrix.